crack, everyone? I hope you're all keeping well out there. You see, we have a few skulls in the audience already. What we got here, we've 11 online watching and ready to go. We've got, in order of succession, we have White Sapphire, B4L Funny Times is in the chat. Hello there. It's not a hi tonight. My Mariner going friend. We have Audio Al, and we've got Jerry as well in the chat. Lovely stuff. How are you all doing, everyone? I hope you're keeping well. Do hit the thumbs up button if you've just arrived in the gaff. And I would also ask that somebody give me a sound report just to make sure that everything's tickety-boo with the microphone. Manuel Caldera, had a lovely rare Philips radio on tonight's video. Very good. Audio good, that's what we like to hear. Good evening, Audio Al. Is tonight's topic a Stapletown? It is not. By the way, that video is a snippet from a video I made nearly 4 years ago now, where I used a Rootmaster to dispose of a very nasty, horrible record player. So it's an old video. What that was, as I discussed last week, an experiment into the world of shorts. And it seemed to be relatively successful. I got 2,000 views on it. So then the following evening, I made a little short on my own with these little pocket televisions that everyone's firm favourite. And it didn't do so well at all. So I don't know what the metric is for a successful short video, but it's something we will look into in greater detail down the road. Who else have we got here in the chat? We have Rayborn is in the chat, and Noel is in the chat, and the Chipmunk is here, of course. Good evening, sir. Good to see you in the chat. I hope you're keeping well too. A Rootmaster. I was going to ask, was it an LRA or even an R? No. It was a Rootmaster, that particular machine. Yes. Trevor is here as well. Good evening, Trevor. I hope you're keeping well. Trevor, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, makes very interesting videos about very strange, small, pencil-shaped Russian valves where he makes TRF radios out of them and 405 line modulators and all sorts of interesting stuff. So do give him a look out. Roundy Mounty's here with his spanner in his hand, ready for action. Yes, Trevor, all is well here. Thank you very much. Yes, so Roundy Mounty is the man with the spanner. So if anyone asks the mega in the chat, Roundy's going to give them a bang across the head with the spanner. Let me have a look. I prefer that so if I can get too basic for me. Let's see. Sort of telephone quality, but crystal clear. I will take that. We probably will make some sort of a cash investment in a slightly better camera and perhaps a microphone setup in the near future. Well, I've said that a few times and still haven't done it. So, but I do intend to improve things here a little bit. We're not getting much. Whitworth and Imperial. By Imperial, I take it you mean AF or whatever, the American stuff. I know, I think once they stopped using Whitworth as a metric for spanners, it was time to get out of the trade, you know. Get a clip radio mic. I don't know about a clip radio mic. No, I don't think I will. No, I want something simple. It's not going to give me problems. Yeah, they're all bad for me to have a lapel mic. I don't know. I don't really want a lapel mic. And I don't want a radio mic because they work great. They do. But the proper ones are very pricey. And there's no point in me making a big mad cash investment here. B4L Funny Times has a pair of shades on and a emoji. Thank you very much, B4L Funny Times. Much appreciated, pal. Thank you. The Rode wireless mics, they are, but they're also quite pricey. A lavalier microphone. That's a lapel microphone, isn't it? No. Oh, I don't know. Tell me what that is, White Sapphire. I know the word, but I can't place it to the microphone. Clive made his mic from a mic capsule dangling over his head. yeah. Now, you see, that's sort of my kind of speed right there. I have a couple of tasty microphones here, which I showed you in a previous live chat. So we have this, which is the Bear M201TG, right? That's a very tasty microphone. And we have the blue, right, which was thrown out because this was loose and the wires have come off, right? Beautiful microphone there, 200 or 300 quid to buy. So I think I'd like to get one of those going. Would be ideal. Do hit the thumbs up button if you have just joined the chat. I know you love it when I say that. And for those of you who are interested, tonight we are drinking. Our refreshment is being supplied by the good people of Strongbow. And just for your responsible, the UK Chief Medical Officer recommend adults do not regularly drink more than 14 units per week, and this is 2 units. No more than 7 cans a week. My God, they have gotten very boring in the UK. Roundy Mooney, what you have there is basically designed for Teams and Skype calls. That's what it was bought for. It was bought for Teams, or not Teams. Yeah, Teams, Microsoft Teams. And assumes you're sitting on top of the thing. When you're up close, it'll sound quite good. Yeah. I'll be on the Dutch Gold next. Them days are long behind me. I was on the Dutch Gold about 20 years ago. 7 cans of strong, but I couldn't limit yourself to that much. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. What a lot of wild crap. Yes. So, what to talk about? It's all gone quiet. Well, next week, as all of my viewers are aware, and has been a big build up to this, I will be hopping into my little van and conveying myself across the Irish Sea to a place called Goulburn. Oh yes, the Goblin, the Hobgoblin, the Goblin is approaching fast. So this day next week, I'll be on the rocky seas. I'll be leaving Holyhead, bound for Dublin once more. So we're looking forward to the Goblin, and we do hope to see some of you there. So it's going to be a bit of crack. We're going to have a look. I haven't been to Goblin before. I know it's nowhere near the size of the MVCF, but it should be a bit of crack. Like-minded people. So if you are at the Goblin and you're watching, you don't comment even, they'll come up and say hello and tell me how shit my videos are. Your camera looks like 240 lines on my phone. Well, knowing you, Trevor, you could very well be watching on 240 lines. Are you going to do a video from the Goblin? Most likely not. I don't know. We'll see how it plans out in the day. I'm not making any plans on that or not. I'm not a big fan of sticking a camera in someone's face or, out in public. I don't think it's an issue anymore the way it would have been at one time. But we'll see. Yeah, maybe I will make a video with the Goblin. We shall see. We know that a few YouTuber types are going to be there. I think George Christophe will most likely be there, so we'll have a chat with him. It's available in 1080, but the camera's only 720, so I don't think there's any difference in the quality. Yeah, the video feed is, yeah. Video from the gob would be class. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we'll play that one by ear, but we hope to have something interesting lined up anyway as well when we're over there. We're not only going to the Goblin, so it should be interesting. Do a video in 405 lines. Oh yes, I'm sure all this modern equipment could be hacked for 405 lines. I don't see any particular reason why it couldn't. I'll be there buying things I don't really need, says Driver Films and Shortwave. Well, I will see you there, so let yourself know to me and we'll have a chat. Rowney Mooney, Chipmunk says, probably due to scaling issues, the 1040 stream looks worse than 720. Ugh, oh no. Oh no, I think we'll have to get a 1040 camera just there, because I know the phone looks way better than this camera, you know. Rowdy Mooney was saying that the 405 line trial has kind of gone into a hiatus. No news on it of late. I believe there's something going on in the background, but I'm not too sure. I don't think it's in the bin yet, anyway. I think things are happening. They're just not saying. Or 1080 should be say, Chipmunk, yes. And yeah. Trevor is going to record the next live chat from the PC generator 405 onto VHS and send me the tape. Good man, Trevor. Or what you could do is you could rebroadcast it on your channel. It'd be interesting to see. Audio Al asks, is Mrs. Algenos buying you a new camera for Christmas? Hint, hint, Mrs. Algenos. Mrs. Algenos is watching inside, so it's quite likely she won't reply. I don't think so. Chipmunk says his eyes are old enough that 720 will be fine. Yeah, soon Baird's 30 line system will be fine. Great stuff. Great stuff in there. So, things to look at. I found something that I had a long time ago, much like Mr. Dranfield said last week. You know you have a problem when you keep finding things you forgot you had. However, this is a VHF modulator, which I got off AliExpress. And it's not a wonderful piece of kit at all. Well, it does work, but it's very simple, and it's not what you'd think it'd be. Back to the televisor. No, the BHTV isn't dead. I know that. Yeah. Don't be ruining Christmas. That's Christmas effect now, isn't it? Oh there. Right. So I'll show you this first of all. My first of a couple of segments where I bring the camera into the bench during the live, and we have a look at something. Don't know if anyone's ever seen one of these before. They work to a point, but they're very, very simple inside. I thought when I was saying this that there'd be chips in there and all sorts of modern highfalutin things going on inside. However, so what this is it's a VHF modulator, and of course a couple of the Irish TVs are 625 line VHF only. So the suitable modulators aren't quite as freely available. So I bought this thing. This is a couple of years ago now. And it's missing a couple of screws because I had it open before. Because we'd no sound. And we opened it up and we'd no sound. And then we realised how simple it was. And we tweaked the cord. And then we had sound. Look at that. There's nothing in it. I'll turn on the big light. Blackpool illuminations are on. Not a lot going on in there, is there? We've no earth. Well, that mightn't be such a massive issue. Look at the size of that transformer. Dinky little thing. There's the car. There's nothing in this. Right? You know, and let's just take the board out. One screw holding the board in. Now it does work, but it's not wonderful. So it's the simplest kind of modulator you could imagine. You could get. And just having a look at the chat. Who have we got? We've got Luke Davis here. So folks, just looking for some people to hang out with. You can party on there, Luke. I ordered an airbrush kit from Banggood, featured a 70 foot down from good man. I remember reading about Ireland using 625 and VHF back in the 80s. They did. Well, back in the 60s. They started on 625 VHF with 405 duplicated on the south and east coasts for people who already had televisions before RTE started. So that's it. There's 3 transistors and some surface mount nonsense. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing in it. It's as simple as you could imagine. So, and a little LED to tell you it's on. It works alright, but I wouldn't trust it. It's not the kind of thing I'd leave the house and leave plugged in all night. Especially look at the size of that mains transformer. Short screw it in there. But if you look at the output RF lead, you'll see it's not even coax. Look at that. That's terrible. All runs off the mains alright, Roundy. Yeah. Yeah, not ideal. It's one of the not so bright things I've gotten off China over the years. Now, we're I have to try and keep up with the chat at the same time. So I'm losing. B4L is mad to buy. That chap doesn't care what he buys once he can buy it. Turn off the light. So anyway, we might see if that still works in a while, because we've a few other little things to look at here as well tonight. Let me just catch up with the chat for a second here. If you have just joined me, please do hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate it a lot. It's as basic as you'll get. Roundy has that up there. 625, 405, wonderful. Kevin B, we were looking at a cheap Chinese modulator. You could fit all that in the scarf load, yeah. Let me see. I'll check to see what voltage that thing works on and run it on low voltage. Yeah, well, you could just run it off a battery, certainly. But that's cheap. Luke Davis is in Iceland. We were in Iceland back in March. Very interesting place. You see, Roundy, that plastic box looks snazzy, and you think, yeah, I'll buy that. Roundy Mooney's counting the likes. Oh, we're nearly getting there. We're nearly at the bit that I like, where there's more likes than people want. 21 and 7 likes so far. B4L, you're way behind. You need to go out and come back, and you'll see what it really is. Amazon suggests a Whisker Junction box toolkit that looks like a whisker box. It's a plastic spanner and screwdriver thing. Looks cool. Oh, well done, Luke. 24 likes now. 22 likes now with 23 people watching, 23 likes, yeah. Super stuff. Yeah, we were there, Chipmunk. We were in the pool. It's pretty cool to be having a swim in the snow, and it's roasting. It's really hot. That Blue Lagoon. Right. Kevin B spent arm and leg today on really useful storage for Mrs. Craft Room. This money I could have spent on tools or components. Yes. That's a thing, alright. That is definitely a thing. Now, moving on. We know that everyone here enjoys vintage televisions, and I'm going to put one up on the bench that I haven't looked at since I made a video about it, which will be at least 3 years ago as well. And it is a Hitachi. So, without further ado, the Hitachi television is going to make an appearance here on the bench. And the only reason it's making an appearance on the bench is I want to see, will it still work? Because it's so long since it's seen any power. And to give you a good look, I'll just turn this on real quick. And that actually didn't help at all, but you can see it's a nice television. It's a Hitachi TU-75. And she's early 70s, 1970, 71, something like that. I think it's a 14-inch. Well, it's not a turret as such, but yeah, it's a twisty. Well, yeah, it is a turret tuner, yeah. Well, it's not a clicky tuner. UHF only, so no doubt a grey import from the UK. And I'm going to get the safe block out, and I'm going to give it the beans. No, I don't think it's a variable resistor. No, I don't think so. So it'd be interesting to see will she come on. I didn't even clean it off at all. Yeah. Thomas, noises have been made. Not bad. I think the tube in this one was a little bit weak when I was at it. Whenever that was. Now, let us see. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. To my memory, the chill was a bit weak in this machine, but it looks alright to me. Chipmunk used to do a fair bit of DXTV. Cool. Roger Bunny, yeah. Jim Gordon had a cool. Had a similar television to me. Come on, Trevor. White Sapphire wants to know, should she try transmitting on Channel 35 from East Yorkshire to see if I can pick it up over here? Sure, why not give it a go? Most likely not, but you never know. Good man, Michael. Nothing like what's terrifying the grandson. Where did I get the BBC test card? I got it on download from the internet. Good man, Chipmunk. I did too, actually, on the old laptop. No, I still do, actually. Last week, you will recall, I was discussing shortwave aerials, and I was discussing this Luke Doofer, which Trevor also has experience of, but Trevor has got to go and make a phone call. And then I said I had bought a mini whip at a very reasonable price off the internet. And this is it. I just found it in the box. So, for those of you who don't know, this is it's a wideband shortwave, medium wave, long wave antenna. And the idea is you stick this, it's an amplified antenna. This is the receiving structure here. You place this very high up on a pole. And this then is down in your shack, and this powers it. So think of this like this is the area, And then think of like a television aerial. This is the aerial itself, and this is the masthead amplifier, right? And the idea is that you can get it up high, away on the pole from all the noise. And then you have this down the shack, which is basically a splitter. So it feeds the power in, and then the RF comes through. And these apparently are very good if they're set up correctly. The key is setting them up, having them on a pole, proper steel pole, and what have you. And if they're set up right, apparently they work very well. So we're looking forward to trying this when we get a chance, which will probably be no time soon. So that's the little Hitachi. I'm actually quite impressed with that. It's 3 years since I went near it, and it just came on, of course, as it did the first time I went to 3 years ago, when I had been off for maybe 20 or 30 years at that stage, and it just works. It's rough. I didn't even wipe. I think I gave the cabinet a bit of a lick with a damp rag or something. I didn't do a whole lot with it. And there it is. I don't think I'd fall out with that at all. Brightness and contrast are sort of, they're up near the top end of their tracks. But I'm thinking, has the Associated Series resistors gone out of specification? They might have gone high. Looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll see how we get on now when you want to get a chance. And how does he find it, Jerry? Does it work quite well? Some people say that they're not very good at all, but it generally comes down to where they have them located and what have you. They have to be set up right in order to work. Well, there you go. Right. Okay, we'll take this off the bench. We'll try it again in another 3 years. Of course, one of the most interesting things that's on the television these days is Test Card F. Sadly, there's not much on. It's not a Test Card F's not on, but it's one of the most entertaining things you can watch. It's television's gone crap. Come on. Out you go. Roundy Mooney says he'd struggle to get away from RFI. Here, you would have more luck. Might have more luck. Well, that's the plan anyway. RFI is sneaking in here too. And at night sometimes I think someone comes in on Skywave. I think someone takes off into the sky, because at night here on the lights 80 metres or that, it's going to be very noisy. Would that be the Cliff Quick Test IC there? Well, it's a safe block, is what she is. There's a few of these. I've two of them. That I use, and I have another one that's brand new in its RS box. Never opened or interfered with. But they're very handy. That one I use with a little NK switch plug, and I find it very handy. I use that all the time, because a lot of stuff doesn't even have it's a safe block. Michael knows the correct. She's a safe block, and very handy piece of kit to have too. life a lot easier. It was handy in the shop because people used to take the plugs off their TVs before they brought them in for some reason. Oh, well, they didn't know what kind of sockets you might have. Gits. Or maybe they thought you want to rob the plug on them. I don't know. But that was a thing. People would take the plugs. Unbelievable the way people go on. Oh, the key connectors. Yeah, I've seen them, yeah. The ones you push them back and you go in. I prefer the safe block, to be honest. Hoping you'd fit one before return. Yeah, most likely, yeah. Get a free plug. Gits. Well, they wouldn't get a free plug because they'd be charged for it too. Tomo didn't have a TV shop for 44 years giving plugs away for free to gits. The missing plugs, yeah. What was all that about, Jerry? Huh? Unbelievable. Carry on, people. I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts. So, other things of interest to show people on the YouTube channel tonight. I got something which is going to come in really useful. And it's something that I've been looking for years. And keeping me eye out at the likes of the MVCF and the radio show in Blanchardstown and Kilmoyne and the other places. Never quite being able to get my hands on one. However, one of my viewers who got in touch in the recent past said to me that he had this device and that I was more than welcome to it if I wanted it, because he had, it was surplus to his requirements. Now, he didn't use it for what you might have thought he would use it for, because when I show it to you now, it'll become quite apparent what it is. And I think Michael Dranfield might go get green eyes. Although I suspect Michael Dranfield probably will have 3 of these tucked away somewhere in his shop. So I'm going to show it to you now, right? Might do like a little drum roll or something. Maybe there should be. Let's see. We need to bring this in properly now because this little device. No, not a Japanese meter. I'd say you have far more than 3 Japanese meters, Michael. I'd say you have like 25 Japanese meters. No, it's something. How can I describe it? Anyway, it needs a bit of a fanfare coming in, so we're gonna give it an entrance. Now we can't do fireworks in the shed, obviously. So right. This is an EHT meter, and we'll open this up and have a look inside it. It's in wonderful condition. Rayborn can't stick the fact that there's not going to be any fireworks. I'm sorry, Ray. 0 to 30 kilovolt. The gentleman who had this meter was not using it for testing EHT and television sets. He was using it for doing something with naughty transmitters. However, and it has this on the end of it, which probably isn't great for getting an anode cap. However, I have this. Roundy Moundy will approve of this device. So this can go on this, and then life will be safe and good. Haha. Anyway, let's open up and have a look inside. Because I think this, if it's the model that I'm thinking of, has a tripler out with an AA23 in it. Or maybe that's another one I'm thinking of. So, Mr. Dranfield, how many of them do you have? With a Sci-Fan movement. Does it have a Sci-Fan movement? I don't know. It doesn't. I can't see any writing on it. We'll have a look. You know, them screws haven't been out since she left the factory. Is it off air again? It had been on a couple of weeks ago. It had came back. And so obviously it's off again. I don't think they have the money to be running that machine by the sounds of what I'm hearing from people. So I'd imagine it'll go off air one of these days and they won't put it back up. You have the Eagle handheld unit. Yeah, that has the meter in the handle. I've seen them alright. Well, I never managed to get my hands on one in time, so I'm quite impressed with this little piece of kit here. Does this have a triple? It does. It does. It does. Now, needless to say, you want to be careful with this and not hurt it. The 30th of July, 1974 is what's on it. And in the back, you can see that there is a lovely tripler out of a Bush AA23. How about that? And this must be like a discharge tube or something here. And to protect the movement. It's all very nicely made, and you can see where it's being calibrated here with this little pot, and it's being sealed. A reverse tripler, if you will. Probably, yeah, obviously, yeah. Isn't that a lovely piece of kit? And so well put together. And a low one too. Serial number, hand painted. Serial number 255. Lovely. They don't make them like that anymore. So needless to say, we're very, very happy with this device. And it's going to come in handy. There we go. It does look far older than it is, yeah. A nicely put together piece of equipment. Now, I had a feeling you would enjoy that. Funny enough. Now, do let me catch up with the live chat once again. No, mouse is hiding. Only familiar with the ones that were built into the giant probe, yeah? The little handle on it, yeah, I know, it's gas. AM would be expensive on Lecky these days. It would. I don't think that Spirit have the means really. I can't imagine their ad revenue being fantastic. Looks almost homemade with the Vero board. I suppose it does, alright, yeah. You'd wonder how many of them they made. It's a nicely put together piece of kit. So we'll have to see how well that works someday. Definitely. I suppose thinking about, I must see if Spirit is still off here, if I can hear it. They could be on reduced power. We'll get the Eddystone up on the bench for a minute. It's amazing the money some of these little Eddystones are going for these days. Like, they're nothing special really. They seem to be commanding a fair price. Well, let us say. It's gone again, alright. That sounds like Radio Caroline. Coming in well too. That's coming in real well tonight, isn't it? Very well. Caroline's hit and miss here, you know, depending on what time of day. Generally it's swamped, but it seems to be coming in great there at the minute. The chat has stalled. I was thinking that. Well, now your messages are coming through. Perhaps nobody is writing anything, which could very well happen too. Trevor writes, got an RBM 40565 pattern generator, high quality unit with proper sinks for 405 with the 8 broad pulses. No, they're nowhere near that. I think they're 4 kilowatt, I think. They're 2 kilowatt. 2 kilowatt, 4 kilowatt, something like that. I have here, actually, if I remove a few AVO meters, right, I have here a Rank Bush Murphy pattern generator. It's a transistor job. Bloody hell. Far too much test equipment piled up here. Does Trevor recognise this machine? Bought this at the Vintage Radio Rally at Kilmine a couple of years ago. It's had a little bit of messing around done, but these phono connections have been added at some stage. There's no wires going to them inside. Also, this multi-way switch has been added too. There's also no wires going to these either. So I don't know if anyone recognises that. Does Trevor recognise this machine? It works, but to a point. It's not great. I would have been from the early days. It's a nice bit of kit, yeah. It has the crosshatch on the grayscale and that, but it's not a step grayscale. It's a gradual grayscale. This other machine here, which never ever sees use, but it was given this because it was heading in the bin, so I kind of saved it to the bin if you like. And it's such a lovely bit of kit. I couldn't see it get scrapped, to be honest. Although I'd never use it really, because we have the little magic boxes, but it's a transistor tester. And it also does Zener diodes as well. Diodes and Zener diodes. It's still got batteries in it too. Nice little machine that too. Well put together. I was giving it to it for, the gentleman says, you can have it for the case to build a radio in or something. And I just couldn't bring myself to scrapping it, you know. Let me catch up with the old chat. Brum Adams here. Brum Adam, I was looking to replace the next CRT on a Decca NS1211 Gypsy, yeah. Found a site on Belgium where they had 28 of these new old stock available. They are €20 each. The A31 120W was quite a few, was in quite a few sets, and I was very happy with the few I bought from them. Hope that's useful to somebody. Yeah, I actually have a couple of them CRTs here. I think I've two of them that come out of scrap sets. I might have a new one somewhere. It's amazing that this stuff is still around. There's Thunder and Lightning where the chipmunk is. If Roundy Mooney had round me, buy them all. Someone would want them eventually. Good man, Roundy.
That's right. A big track here right there on the streets and only the strong survivors.
Actually, you can hear lightning crashes on the radio. Yeah, you hear the lightning on the radio? No Russian pirates on tonight either. The Radio Sheep Zapper has competition. It does in the lightning tonight, alright. It was completely, I remember back in August the lightning was very heavy and the radio was completely unusable here for about 2 days. There was so much lightning over Ireland and the UK. It just rendered the radio useless. Yeah, that interactive lightning map is quite interesting, alright. Right, lads, that's odd. If I can't hear... I wouldn't be surprised, Chipmunk. A certain establishment YouTube won't let me mention. Go on, mention it, old blokey, and I'll tell you if the... I could do that. Michael Tranford used to love the lightning in the 90s when they sold new TVs. So many sets were written off at the lightning strikes, yeah. There. Let's see if we can... Right, lads, I'll leave you with the musical stylings of the buzzer, and I'll be back in a moment. I bet this thing will drift completely off, too. told you to totally drift off. Kettle's boiled, says Chipmunk. Good, good. Alder Masson Weapons Establishment. That chunk in, alright. Must head up there for a look. Oh no, the electric fence here is special. That is for sure. Alright, lads. Let's see. First poll of the evening. Only 15 watching. It's not the most popular live streams we've had. However, here is this is a question, right? And I suppose it will. But wait, I'm going to do this different. I'll do it as a poll, right? Right, this is a quick poll. Wait, Paul, tell me what vintage radio forum you use, if you use them. And maybe you don't use a forum. That's okay too. We do discuss in the chat other forums, which may be of interest. Let's hope it's a question about the beard. The beard's getting out of hand. In my previous employ, I had to be sort of, a trimmed, nice beard. And like George, I think George has a larger beard. I've decided to grow my hair and beard long. Now, I don't know how long this will last. I'll probably get fed up someday and then go to the barbers and get it all cut off. But we're going to see. I always fancied a beard and long hair. None of this trim shit, like, this poser beard. No, proper. Okay. I don't do goatees now, because I worked under a man who had a goatee and it put me off goatees for life. Jesus Christ. It's, most polls are JJ, lol. Yeah. I remember my uncle telling me about Handle. He used in the same circuits as the speaking clock, so any outages would be spotted soon. Oh! Okay. Driver shot. Just grab my hair down, it pisses me off, yeah. Fuzzy bear one. Yeah. Whenever I try to grow a beard, I end up looking like a refugee U-boat commander. Too much grey if I grow a beard. Oh, you can always use the old grey cane or whatever you call it. Do vote if you haven't voted. Vote now or incur my wrath. Vote now. Vote now. Maybe I should vote as well. Can I vote? I don't think I can vote in a poll. I'm not allowed to vote in a poll. It's not allowed. I will leave it there for a minute. Roundy Mooney uses all three. I could see myself being in someone else's films, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm here to fix our television. Fuck it. Noel Conway is going to note the forums listed for future reference. Dennis is in the same boat. Don't worry about that either, Jerry. It doesn't bloody matter. Goulburn is a great forum, but most of them are so quiet now. Even UKVRR has gone quiet. I've noticed that as well, yeah. Forums are kind of a fucking thing in the past because, what you call it, the internet, you know, has changed. I'm still green on their hair and beard, but might change it for Goblin. Go for... I'll tell you what. Suggestions in the chat for what colour George Christophe should change his hair to for Goblin. Roundy Mooney says, I'm here to sort out your grid coupling, which I take it refers to 90% of the threads on the Vintage Radio forums. Pink. Purple. Purple's a decent one. Male pattern baldness foisted that on me. Nothing worse than trying to hold on to it. Yeah. I agree. George should go rainbow. Don't pink already, Dennis. It needs to be Ed Studio Workshop. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, which are more than welcome. Most people use Facebook groups on Reddit. Yeah. Also, what are your thoughts about the misinformation surrounding repairing vintage electronics? Recap rather than problem solving, etc. Well, Ed has popped in here and he's already blown the thing out of the water. So it's like anything. And it's not only on Reddit and Facebook or wherever, it's on the forums as well. It's on a lot of YouTube videos. Now, my approach is to get something working first and then go ahead and do the work. Whereas there's other YouTube channels or whatever doing television restoration or vintage radio restoration, what have you, who will go ahead and change all the capacitors and check all the resistors and then change all the out of spec resistors and then try the radio, which I think is complete bollocks. I will put a radio on the bench. I won't even change the grid coupling. I won't do anything to it. Run it up slowly on the Variac, see what it does. Even if the grid coupling cap is short circuit, it's not going to destroy anything like that. It's not like solid state equipment. Thermionic valve equipment can take a bit of abuse and what have you, and you can figure out what you need to do. So that's my approach. And I think a lot of newcomers to this go out and they get a radio and they replace everything before trying it. And then they plug it in and there's a big, huge disappointment because they find that the sound output transformer is defect or the mains transformer is defect or some component. And they're after putting a whole load of money into this thing and then it goes in the bin and then they never touch another radio again. Green, white and orange, so Orange can recognise you. I can recognise him anyway because he has a YouTube channel. You might not be aware, Chipmunk, that George Christophe is quite famous on YouTube. Cody's is here. Sorry, I didn't see you in the chat there, Cody's. Hello. Let's see. What else have we got? Ed was here before. Oh, I apologise, Ed. Obviously got a head like a sieve. I must say I'm very bad with names, so don't take offence if I say I haven't seen you before, even though you've been here every week. So just don't pay any heed to that. George Christophe, make the radio work before breaking it with a shotgun of parts. Thank you, George. That's exactly, we're on the same page, and we had this discussion at the NVCF. Hello all, I've always missed the live streams and I've just caught one. Oh great, do hit the bell icon on my channel and you should get a notification when a live stream is going to come on. Quite a few people have done that, and I have found that during the week just past, I was making a couple of test transmissions here with the lives, and I was amazed at how many people popped up as soon as I went live, more than they do tonight. Nuts. Anyway, it's great crack. Let me say, Michael, only replace capacitors and vintage stuff absolutely need, otherwise you spoil your originality. Michael's into the originality, he's into restuffing caps and all that kind of stuff. John's not too concerned what people can't see underneath the chassis. In fact, under one radio I repaired once, I left a little note that said, you're a nosy something beginning with C and ending with T under the chassis. So the next person who's looking in there will get told how I feel about them. Dennis, I have an account but only for messages, so I can to my friends, but don't use the site. I don't know what site that is. Oh yeah, I should actually end the poll. I will do that in a minute. If you have not already tried the poll, please do. If you've only joined the chat, please do give me a thumbs up. It would help. Don't take offence unless it's an actual offence, yes? Good man, Chipmunk. George Christophe. There you go. Cody's asks, John, how much room do you have for vintage TVs? I know a man coming to the Goblin looking to downsize his television collection. Well, I don't have much room at all, but I could always make space for a few televisions. A couple. Not too many though. But maybe if he brings a couple to the Goblin, we could do business. I don't know. We'll see. I am a bit short on space at the minute. I've been trying to sell some hi-fi gear, but no one wants to buy it. They want me to donate it to them, and I'm not willing to do that. Coconut. Don't take offence. Take gate. It's liar. Very good. Let's see. Okay, let's see how the poll went. How did the poll go? Well, I can see that the UK Vintage Radio Forum has an overwhelming majority. I'm surprised that the Goulburn Forum has more than, well, I'll show you. 18% of people think that all forums are shy, which is fair enough. There is the poll, starting with C and ending with T. Coconut roundy. Probably not, but uses most of the letters involved. 70 people voted. And of course, as I expected, the UK Vintage Radio got 41%. I expected them to be the biggest. I expected VRAT to come second and Goulburn to come third. So that surprised me. What hi-fi gear is that? Nothing really interesting, Kevin. Some Sony tuners and stuff, but look, the market isn't there anymore. People aren't interested, It's changed, it's shifted again, Looking for a decent amp receiver for the daughter. Okay, well, maybe we can talk in private about that around the money. But what I would say is I've got stuff that's reasonable and then stuff that's very, very high priced. So, but I think we could do something for you around the money. And speakers, so you just need an amplifier and tuner. Right, we'll have a discussion about that. OS. Kevin Chipmunk might be the same version as Sashiosi. We can talk. Ed Studio, chaps, what type of vintage electronics videos do you enjoy watching on YouTube? I want to start making some on my channel, but need inspiration. I've no speakers for sale. Unfortunately, speakers I don't have. Cody, I'll put it a different way. How much room is in your van? And will you be fitting the roof box and towing the trailer? Asking for a friend. Well, I don't have a roof box, and the van that I have now at the minute does not have a tow bar. But I don't know how many televisions I could fit in my van. I'm sure I could fit several. I'm sure I could fit. Well, I don't know. I mean, I can put 10 televisions in my van, but it depends what kind of televisions they are. I'm only interested in very certain types of televisions these days. I've become very, very discerning, I suppose, maybe. But we could have a chat. I wonder, was this the same chap that put something up on the UK Vintage Radio Forum? There was an advertisement went up in the UK Vintage Radio Forum the other day, and it was just radios in sets and parts offered, and it was deleted straight away. So I don't know what it was. Perhaps. People actually fixing and doing stuff can't stand the faffers. I wonder who you're talking about there, George. I know Radio Workshop is a bit... I don't think I've ever seen one of his... Now, I like Ray, but I don't think I've ever seen a video of his where he actually does something with a soldering iron. Am I right, George, or wrong? He generally just talks about what he's doing. Oh, is Chris going to the Goblin? Good, I'd like to see Chris. We had hoped to meet Chris at the MVCF, but it didn't work out due to prior arrangements he had with work or something. I didn't think he had that many televisions, but we can, yeah, very good. He doesn't even tell you what he's done. I've never seen him do that in practical, no. But I know I think if you give him money on his site or something, then he shows you. Is that right? Something like that. He'll be at the Goblin with tellies. Oh, cool. Well, we'll have a chat with him for sure. I wonder is he getting. I hope he's not getting rid of his lovely Philips that he did. He should hold on to that. He does spin a good yarn, alright. We'll give him that. Yeah, he does. Although he's slowed down on the YouTube now, but I think he's kind of semi-retired these days anyway. Which is fair enough. Yeah, YouTube's a strange place. There's something for everyone though, I suppose. Ray created a series of repair videos years ago which people who wanted to learn the game could sign up and do. Ah, yeah. I knew there was something like that, alright. Try out Uncle Doug, Dave Tipton, or Dr. Tony Durant. They're good channels for to watch. Let's see, who else is worth a watch? I don't know, there's so many. There's a few. There's a chap called Steve's Vintage Longstay Workshops. He does videos as well. There's another chap called Andy, who is Vintage Electronics Restoration or something like that. There are two other ones. Look, Jojo has the Guinness candle there. I sure do. It's still there. Look, you can just see it. Oh, there. Oh. Yes, I remember that day well. Michael Tranfield will always have room for more televisions. You're an awful man, Michael. Yeah, I'd sort of agree with that, George. Well, he only made a couple of videos as well. He didn't make too many. I don't know what it was about his videos. I got the feeling that he was looking down his nose at me or something. It was weird. Andy, the record player specialist, he has got a lot of knowledge on them, alright. He's very good at them. Andy Doswell's videos are good. They are, yes. Shangu's politics put me off. Yeah, I've no time for politics. As you know, I'm sort of. I like to keep politics away from the whole thing because it just gets to be a pain in the arse. Of course, do give Michael Tranfield's channel a look. Of course, I should have said that because I think it was Vintage Radios in particular or something you said, but Michael Tranfield, of course, is well worth a watch. I've seen one or two of his videos and he seems rather competent. Yeah, I can make it Michael. Michael's one of our top performers. Ah, dear, oh dear. There are many channels on YouTube, some very small, but nonetheless polished, and with obvious effort put in. What you mean to say is, Roundy, channels that aren't like Odgenodge, Irish Vintage TV and Radio. We know the whole thing has a certain rudimentary look, but I think if I came in here tomorrow and put up a video and it was lasers and guns and look at television, pew, 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 pew. I don't think, people have come to get what they expect. My thing, the reason for starting this channel was, just to see would anyone watch me. But then it developed into a thing where the purpose of this is to try and preserve some Irish vintage electronics history. Things that were made in Ireland or whatever, and the history of the social aspect as well of television. Try and go around and meet a couple of people who were involved in the Irish television trade at one time or another, and what have you. And we've done a little bit of that. Of course, you'll remember the interview that I did with Michael Burke down in Athlone last year. And of course, I had my very own John here for a quick little chat in the video. Sadly, we didn't get to make any more due to COVID and what have you. And that stole a lot of time. But there's a great rich history in this country, much like the UK, of electronics manufacturing and television rental history and what have you. And pirate radio, of course, was a massive thing in Ireland at one time. And I think all this needs to be said. So I'd like to try, that will be kind of the goal of the channel here. And of course, if you or anyone you know will be willing to speak to me on camera about the history of these things, if you're involved in the trade or whatever, I would like to hear from you. Now, Odge is the kitty. If I were you, I'd change nothing. Ha! Thank you. You see, that's why Roundy Mooney has the little blue spanner. First time here, greeting from Poland. Kerry, I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce our second name, but thank you very much for popping in. George Gustaffi says, so many American ones that I could mention, not everyone's cup of tea, but interesting for sure. Don't forget the fella in Canada, Jim Lindenas, who can be interesting. Brum Adam is a watcher of Michael Dranfield. I'm glad to hear. Jay's vintage junk is good. Yeah, Jay is quite an interesting chap too, and he knocks around with Andy and Steve as well. So they seem to be. I wonder, that chap might actually be at the Goblin as well. I think he's from around that neck of the woods, Manchesterish kind of area. Ed Studio Workshop says your AA23 or your A23A. I'm going to say that. That's going to be AA23 colour chassis. Owned by John, I think, was a good watch. Recently done one of those. Had to adjust the colour decoding panel. Not for the faint-hearted. No, it's not. I didn't have a right. Oh, Blokey says, keep doing what you're doing, Jojo. I hate people trying to be something they're not. Well, that probably won't happen here at this stage. We've lost interest. White Sapphire says, what I like about Michael Dranfield's channel is that he only has look something and you daren't do anything else but work. Magic fingers. I'm sure Michael loves that. I'm here nearly. Now says, I'm here from nearly day one, came for the local content and stayed for everything else. It's a chat in the shed with someone who knows what they're at. Thank you very much, Roundy. I appreciate that. Schaefer. I'm going to say Schaefer. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming aboard. Michael Dranfield's in-depth knowledge is even more impressive than his workshop and collection. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's rare to come across someone like Michael. I don't give Michael a big head here. He'll explode in a minute if we keep saying nice things about him. Big Clive never got it right. The name, I take it, yeah. I think not enough young British people are interested in vintage equipment. Not as much collecting, repairing going on. No, there isn't. But you see that the whole sphere has shifted. You know, if you went back 50, if you went back 100 years ago, young people were probably into like darning socks with holes in them or something. Uh, it's just that the sphere of interest changes, and there's nothing we can do about that. And we can't foist our hobbies and interests upon another generation. I mean, the only reason I'm into all this is because I'm came from a bit of a strange background or whatever. But really, like I'm in my mid 30s, and you know, I really shouldn't have any interest in Val radios or whatever. I should be interested in like Nintendos and Sega Mega Drives and computers and nonsense, but that doesn't float me boat. But I think it's a generational thing overall, with one or two exceptions. I think it just is what it is. There's a lot of talk going on at the minute on the forums about, you know, the future of the hobby and the hobby dying and all this kind of shit. I think, and then there's one poor chap who's ill at the minute who has spent his whole life collecting Brainell tape recorder collection, and he has all the paperwork and all. And he's trying to sell this collection, and he feels that it's essential that this collection is kept together as a focal point of and a resource. But the sad matter is, probably no one is fucking interested in these real tape players or the history of the company that made them. That's long defunct. My outlook on this is, and at one time I would have been all on for, you know, opening a museum and trying to preserve all this and blah blah blah. It's a waste of time. I think what you need to do is get your own bit of crack out of it. The entertainment that make it what makes you happy, you know, and leave it at that. Because when you're dead, someone's gonna come along and put it on a skip, and that'll be the end of it, or sell off what's worth money. So don't be worrying about it. It won't matter when you're in the ground anyway. Let me see where I am. I've lost where I was in that chat. Not enough younger. Yeah, no, cover that. Pile of stuff. Haven't seen that. I'll check it out. George Mustafa says, I think that unless it's a video game console, then young people, yeah. There's a chap who's doing the same. I watched him last night, but I can't remember his name. He, info on Ireland's radio history. He had a poster for Radio West behind him. Alright, very good. Damn it, now I am back down the rabbit hole of nuclear attack warning. Mr. Old Bloke, see you at the Goblin. Mr. Old Bloke. Mr. Old Bloke, did I miss someone called Mr. Old Blokey? Is Old Blokey there? I don't know. It's hard to see the screen from here, to be honest. Should remember Jerry Wells and the collection. Well, in fairness, Jerry Wells' collection was mainly kept intact. They did sell off a lot of stuff that was scrap, alright, and supernumeraries, of course, to try and keep the thing going. But the museum and all is intact. Anybody that is really interested has no cash space or boat yet. I think that's the problem with an awful lot of people now that are in their 70s, 80s, have realised that they've spent a whole lifetime gathering up all this crap, and now they're going to die next week, and they're trying to offload it. But there's so many people in this boat with so much stuff that the market is becoming saturated. And most people, like I'm lucky enough in the situation that I have a little bit of space and have the stuff and whatever, you know, I'm very lucky. But most people my age and certainly younger have no space, have no time, and have bigger problems. And so, even if they did have the interest, so I see serious issues for an awful lot of this stuff going forward. Anyone 22, Selena Vegas? No, I think 4 is enough, George. You think one of the Dimblebys was a patron? Could have been, yeah. I think I remember hearing something about that. the likes of young Luke, who was here earlier, into all laptops and things, not my cup of tea, but I'd still encourage him to follow whatever he's into. Yeah, fair enough. A lot of it was dumped. The museum is being held together by a few people, really, who are restoring equipment. Not a lot of visitors. Lots of greedy people have taken the rare things for themselves. Oh dear. Oh dear. Moral question. There is a Rediffusion cabinet up the road from us. 1960s cable TV and distribution. For anyone who doesn't know. Company is long gone, it sure is. Cabinet is grown over. Should I gut it for historical interest? John Joe's opinion on this is yes. The Counts are going to come along at some stage and throw it into a skip, and it'll be gone forever. So what I would say to you, Chipmunk, is go up there with a yellow vest or whatever. You're the clever man. You'll come up with some solution. And take the cabinet or do whatever you want. Party on will be my... That's what I'd say to you. Party on. Whichever. I wouldn't mind one. That works. I'd have one Vega. Luke is also into electrical switchgear. Yeah. Go for it. George Christophe is of a same value. Valvar FMs, etc. Yeah, you go and get it. What Brownie Mooney says. Let us know how you get on, by the way. If you do it. We'd be interested to know. It's just great. Jenny says it's just great to see a youngster who's not afraid to get his hands dirty. Yeah. That's a plan, Chipmunk. Chipmunk, you could make a video finding it in a ditch, in a paddy field, and restore it. See, George Christophe knows how to make a good video right there. That's a man who understands the workings of the YouTube world. Okay? He could convert it into a 2 and very many zeros watt generator. Yes, he could. George Christophe, after carrying it home on your motorcycle, to hose it down next to the chickens, don't forget to aimlessly put it. Oh, yes. Vintage Electronics. Good evening, Andy. See, Andy's in the chat. Right, there we are now. There's more than one, Roundy Roundy. I would suppose I might see you at the Goblin next week. Might and take a video of it in situ first. Yeah, do that, Chipmunk. We'd be interested to see. You saw that video too, yeah, no. There's also these videos knocking around the internet lately where like, you know, it's some Chinese girl and her legs are spread widely apart, but she's doing something interesting with a screwdriver and a piece of kit. Which brings me to interesting YouTube channels of the week. And every week I try and mention an interesting YouTube channel. Now this one I'm sure that many of you will be aware of already. However, let's go into great detail about this. A very nice girl. I think you would enjoy some of her videos. It's a girl on YouTube, and she's from China, and her name is Naomi Wu, and she calls herself the Sexy Cyborg. Now, I'm sure most of you will enjoy her videos, but some of you may become very angered and shake your fist vigorously at your computer screen. I can't be responsible for that, though. So do give Naomi a look in. That's Naomi, the sexy cyborg. Woo. Let me see where we are with the chat. Oh yeah, man, there's loads of channels of that shit. Yeah, I was gonna make a video where, you know, I was going along in the tractor someday, and I stop and I point off into the very distant, and then I get off and I walk across a field for half a mile, and I find a Reynolds television, and I bring it home and I hose it down and I fix it and all, and that's brand new. Put that down to it though. I might be very mistaken on the error for Hong Kong cable system. I don't know. You coming with Steve? Andy? Yeah. William Beachman. I probably have that wrong. I don't think I've seen you in the chat. No, I have seen you in the chat before. I think William actually. Yeah, I could try sometime, alright, William. I was still very active into the 80s in Kate Radio. 1.61 million subscribers. It's a lot of subscribers, alright. It's only, I don't think that's going to happen to Irish Vintage TV Radio. I don't see that happening anyway. Let me see. Ed Studio says, forgot to mention how about that channel where the old bloke who wears a dress in some videos repairs 1900. A genuine great video. He's an American called Ron, I think. Yeah, I've seen him. I think the fence is wiping out your audio tonight, says Kevin B. I don't know. Give me an audio report, someone. Not a video about sanding the numbers off chips and remaking them then. You could drive the tractor across the field and find an abandoned AM transmitter in need of rescue. I could. Let me see. Dennis. Where's talking? Yeah. So Annie and Steve are going together. I need more cowbells. Are you telling me to go out? I can leave this for a while if you want. Gas layer. That's gas layer. Yes. Or glass slinger. I'll have some nice amateur radio gear in my boot when I get to Goblin. 3HF radios, power supplies, a big linear lamp. Well, George, we might stick me nose in there and have a look anyway. Audio is pretty good here. Thank you, Chipmunk. 80 meters, really working good right now. What with the lessened summer static and the much sooner nightfalls, yeah. Now, granted, there's no noise in here, but that is it out, okay? The thing that distracts me with Glass Slinger is ooh kitty. I don't know what that means. Audio is a bit choppy. Think your Wi-Fi connection is struggling. It's not on a Wi-Fi connection. It's direct. Oh, that is. It's going to be bad tonight with all the storms around. Yeah, no, I'm not relying on a Wi-Fi connection for this though. It's plugged in. No, it's good, lads. Well, maybe it's at your head. Yeah, and yeah. I reload the channel. I'm better now. Okay. Audience means okay. I'm fairly easily attracted by cats, even at work. I know cats are cool. Cats are cool. Well, you know what that means? I'm leaving you with the musical stylings of the nuclear powered electric time standard military fence. We'll be back in a minute, lads. White Sapphire asks, where is the Chinese music? The Chinese music, White Sapphire, has been banished to the land of wind and ghosts because I got 3 copyright doofers on my channel after last week's live stream. Now, it doesn't impact the channel in any way, but I feel very hard about giving someone money. So believe it or not, even the Chinese music has... Now, it doesn't make any difference. Because I make so little money off YouTube these days anyway. It's hardly worth my while doing this at all anymore. In that aspect. Sadly. Bloody electricity's not getting any cheaper here either. I'm gonna fucking burn this stuff to try to keep myself warm. Jeez, that was a good one. One more for you. Firework going off in the background. Right, let's see where that shot is at. Drive it off to get some sleep. Catch you at the Goblin. You will. Take care. Jesse, have you got a collection of old light bulbs? My workshop is full of them. LED power supplies always cause interference. When you say old light bulbs, I think you mean just normal, not vintage light bulbs, but old. Yeah, I do have sufficient quantity. And I do use them as well for that reason. Well, around you'll have to start going into abandoned houses and things looking for bulbs. As long as the cat didn't get ticks and become a tic tac. Oh dear. Has anyone here ever encountered vintage electronics? Has anyone here encountered vintage electronics common? Dare I say the name George Fiddler? I remember George Fiddler, and he commented on a couple of my videos years ago, and that's something that Andy at Vintage Radio or Vintage Electronics, Vintage Electronics Repair said a while ago that George Fiddler has vanished, apparently. Maybe he's, I don't know, he's off the scene at the minute. I take Philip's photo flash. Yeah, cream for that, Michael. There were a load. Oh, George Mustafi. Oh, has sent me a shite in the post. Thanks, George. Don't catch your beard on fire. I won't. Jesus Christ. That's actually something that my father-in-law said to my wife recently. She says, if you want, she's giving out my beard. Beard's nothing and all. I tend to disagree. But, and he said, and him being a fellow bearded man himself, he says, you can get one of those long candle lighters and just stick it under him and he's not looking and he'll go up. I thought that was a bit mean-spirited. Let me see, where am I? I've lost my train of thought as usual. I have to do the super sticker just for fun. Yeah, that's no bother. And you picked the appropriate one for this channel, George. You've just reminded me of the foam cleanser fights we had when I first started. Wonderful. That foam cleanser was lovely stuff and had a beautiful smell of it. I think you're talking about the Service of foam cleanser, number 40 or something it was called. That was great stuff. I used to love cleaning the televisions. That was amazing. You'd spray it on the grainy plastic cabinet, and I used to like go under the dirt and lift it up. The televisions used to be shining after it. Oh, they were the days, weren't they? Really, just wonderful, wonderful fun. Roundy, I am willing to help. Still, people have been stocking up on bulbs. I don't tell you, steal them from you. Yes, people who come in and rob those bulbs. And the ones because I usually fit replacement lamps for older people. Cheap LED bulbs are cheap, yeah. Ambersil, Amber Cleanse. Oh, I haven't heard of that. That sounds like good stuff, though, George. You're very kind, but okay. Service on cleanser 30. Still use it. Good man. Lovely smell of it. The one small deal in shops I pop into in my holidays. Smash. The only thing stolen was a 100-watt power, but stop. Put some freezer spray in a clip top bag and seal it. Then chuck it under another engineer's bench. Oh, that sounds like fun. I still have 3 boxes new bulbs sitting in the garden and another stock in the shed. Some BC, some ES. I think it was banned too, shouldn't it? Babies with no arms and stuff. So, the Goblin's going to be interesting. Next weekend is going to be an interesting weekend. We're going to see someone. And we're going to have a special chat with them. And we're going to the Goblin, of course. All the good stuff is banned, though. Have you noticed that? All the good stuff gets banned. It's not fair. No, not fair. Clicking randomly here on my computer screen and causing issues. Here's one for you. Powell's are interesting. Good night, Ed. Catch you in the next one. Here's one for you. A Powell for those of you who enjoy Powell's. Back in the day, the local printer got in serious trouble for pouring Mick down the sewer, causing an explosion. Jesus. They'd slosh it around like water to clean the presses and let it run down the floor drain. Ooh, that's a bit naughty. Time here, the reason for the poll is the time here is very short lately and is likely to remain short for a while. And I am wondering, would my time better be served making a video on something more so than having the live? Need an option for both in that poll? Well, no, you can just say it in the chat, and we'll take it as that. What Kev B said. Well, okay, so I'll put the theories in that. What a shame that he got into trouble. Best prank he did was wiring a guy's chair to the mains, but left the fuse out of the plug. As he saw the cable, we switched it. Oh yeah, both Mectival stuff. Acetone only melts. Ooh. I'm fun taking it. It's fun having time, but also great being able to chat. Very good, Chipmunk. Sounds good. Rowney wants to go with lives, but then that's because he gets to swing the spanner around. Videos are the same as lives, but we can't interact with you in each other. The issue for you is the lives take up a lot more of your time. Correct. And Dalton says, don't change if it ain't broken. Well, to be fair then, that this is a new venture, really. Lives are only a thing in the last... What's this? The 6th week in a row I've had a live Sunday? But you're enjoying it. I suppose I am, yes. I suppose I am. That's the main thing. True. But you can do premieres for interaction. We have done a couple of premieres and they've been a waste of time, really. So I didn't find them all that useful. Lives are a good excuse to down 10 points, yeah. Live is great, but your videos are too. Thank you, Crackle. Real one, do your channel. Well, the thing is, Jerry, it's not a democracy. I will suit myself. Don't worry about that. Neither your shit. One person thinks I'm shy. And then it's sort of 50-50 between lives and videos. What do we do after the first hour, though? Michael Dranfield. Premieres are paying you. Get a notification. Cannot select watch later. You can only cancel or watch now. True, Dennis. Video brings in more revenue unless you get a lot of super chats. Very true, George. That is true. And that is a consideration which I have to make here regarding the... I tell you, here's a question for you, George. How does Graham do it? Because, like, that fella takes in hundreds every Sunday. Most of us. That's nuts. Now, in fairness, he puts together a very good video on whatever. I don't, and I'll be the first one to put my hands up and admit that. But, I mean, Jesus, he rolls in some money on that YouTube. But maybe you won't work to do that on a Sunday. Do. Right, end the poll. Let's see, 15 votes. NASA space flight, yeah, 500 quid. I could go in for a bit of that already. Let's see now. Notification for premiere is I cancel it and hope to be reminded to watch it later. But YouTube, being YouTube, often downgrades my notification so I don't get the hot. Oh, that's interesting. It's Chipmunk says some channels do lots of impromptu videos, just filming stuff they were gonna do anyway. Is that a possible option? Not live, I don't think. No, I find it hard to concentrate on what I'm doing and skip forwards and backwards between the chat and what have you. I can only do one or the other, really. Especially if I'm doing something complicated. Not hundreds, but he gets a few quid. Alright. However, his video watch time isn't as good as it was. Oh. And his channel is getting less search results because nobody wants to scan 5 hours of a faff stream. Yeah. So you think maybe his popularity is dipping? Would that be it? I know he's tied in now with the chap in Australia, so I thought maybe his videos would go up because of that. You kind of clinging on to him, or going on his back or whatever. Yeah, collaboration, I think is the word I'm looking for. I don't understand such things in depth. Gee, if they're US taxpayers, they've paid way more than that for NASA already. Good man, Roundy. Would you try a live restart? Something that wouldn't take more than a few hours. I suppose the camera would get in the way and you might swear as well. Yeah, no, I don't really want to get into that. It's not something that appeals to me, to be honest. It's like the chap here a few weeks ago asked me to do it. Could you please do an in-depth video on how our television works? No. Or could I do a series of videos on how to repair televisions or something? Fuck off. Better things to be doing me time now than doing that. Chipmunk said, Jerry, you're going to get people with loads of money watching. That's what pissed me off with Fran the other week. She got a €200 super chat and simply ignored it. That's a bit strong. Now, I've heard an awful lot of people, Chipmunk, giving out about Fran lately. And I'm not a Fran viewer as such. I've watched a couple of our videos over the years. I wouldn't call myself a Fran fan. But, I think she's put together some good stuff over the years or whatever. But so I don't know. But I think her popularity is when she did that one video with the UFO that blew our channel out of the water subscriber-wise. But I'll finish my sentence in a minute. I'm just going to keep reading the chats and I'll come back to my point. George Christophe said, nothing is catalogued, so you don't get results if you search for a radio model. And YouTube takes 30% of your chat money. They do. A live restart will basically mean minimal interaction with the chat. Exactly, Roundy. Thank you. my videos are sporadic and a bit ad hoc or even just odd. Well, Crackle, doesn't matter. Like was said to me there by Chipmunk, if you enjoy doing what you do it, and feck it, it doesn't matter. I don't know who Fran is. We're talking about Fran Blanche, who has a sort of a vintage electronics, and she designed like these, sustain wah-wah pedals for guitars and all that kind of stuff. She had a company called Frantown selling guitar pedals, but she does vintage electronics and stuff like that. But she went off on one. Her original videos were great, but she's become a serial one. Now, I'm going to come back to what I was saying there, Chipmunk. Where I seen her go wrong was she did the video on the Tic Tac UFO, I think it was. And I think she had like 40 or 50,000 subscribers at this stage. And because that was such a hot topic at the time, she gained so many subscribers. She gained like 100,000 subscribers overnight. The channel wasn't this, But of course, something that I have learned from YouTube, my limited experience, this very small channel, which it is that just because someone subscribes to you does not mean they're going to watch it. So, as you all know, I have well over 2,000 subscribers now, but you're probably more than well aware that I never, ever rarely would get 2,000 views on a video. Most of my videos, say if I did a video, say on this 8 meter here, right, I'd probably get between 300 and 500 views on it. Maybe something a bit more interesting that people are, really into, like say a Bush television there or something. I might get 800 views or maybe 1,000, and then it's all to do with the impressions and all this and that, and how YouTube want to push you. And YouTube don't really seem to want to push me at the minute. But what blew her out of the water was she got all these subscribers, and she got like 6 million views or whatever on the video, or whatever it was. And then the next video she put out was like back to this guitar pedal, and she gets 10,000 views. And then the head goes nuts. Why aren't these people watching me? I think that most people, there's a lot of people on YouTube that watch YouTube videos, and they see YouTube videos that like this, like me with this multimeter here, say, oh, look at this multimeter. And they come across this video, oh, that's a great video, yeah. Like, click, subscribe, click, and never watch you again. I think that's very common. And I can see people who subscribe to me, who have their subscriptions public, pop up in my YouTube studio, so I can see them. And most of them that pop up, I never see their name again. But if I click on their channel, now they don't necessarily have any content, but you can see their subscriptions, and they will have reams and reams. They will be subscribed to the whole of YouTube, right? Those people are never going to watch one of my videos again. It's not going to happen. They just happen to come across one of my videos, click like, click subscribe, and moved on to the next one. Never see them again. And that's what happened to her with that alien video. All these people say, oh, aliens, yeah, click, daily. And then, gone. Never, no interest. Well, there you see, Kraken. So yeah, 2,000 subscribers, 21 people watching this tonight, right? And 15 people responded to the last poll. Exactly. So you see, there's an issue here. Well, thank you very much, Chipmunk. But I wasn't pointing at you down. But I think that is very common, where there's people out there who just click on everything and move on to the next thing. But that's what I think happened, Fran. I think she got this big fucking explosion of viewers and subscribers and stuff, and then the next video was, and then it's a kick in the hole, because you think, oh, I'm after hitting it now, this is it. Then the next 3 or 4 videos are the same as the last 3 or 4 videos. I mean, I think she averages 10,000 views a video or something. Now, for someone to turn around and give you a €200 super chat, if someone gave me a €200 super chat here, I'd probably drive to their house and shake their hand, to be honest. That's an amazing thing to do for anyone. And to just ignore that's a bit smelly. I don't like that. That's upsetting. Fran used to be great, but talk about a moany witch when it comes to stuff nowadays. And eBaying seems to be her thing these days. Well, George, don't forget to like and subscribe to Odgenodge and send money to odgenodge@odgenodge.com. Yeah, I agree with you, George. Yeah, no, but sending someone a cup of coffee now and again is one thing, but flat out demanding money with menaces is another. So we could probably do our channel more harm than good. There is another channel on YouTube, actually, which I should mention, that I have found quite interesting from time to time. And that is The Cathologist. I don't know if anyone has ever watched any of his videos. Let me see. I haven't watched Fran for a while. I was a bit disappointed watching her restore a piece of test equipment. And when it didn't work, there was no more videos about it. But madam, that sounds like a video that I would make. Thanks all. I have no time for begging Mitchells. Good man, Roundy. She is very, very intelligent and interesting. Begging Mitchells. Or a battery screwdriver. Oh no. On a battery screwdriver. Yeah. The battery screwdriver video was the one that blew up that I have. Well, when I say blew up in terms of my channel. Because the battery screwdriver video garnered. Well, let me have a look actually and say. I'll have a look at the YouTube Studio app and see where the. Oh, sorry, I just clicked on it. Naomi, the sexy cyborg, Will came up and I got all excited there for a second. Let me have a look. Content. My Black & Decker KC 9042 powered screwdriver video has 23,000. 23,000 and 39 views. And how much has it made me actually? It has made me, since I put it up, €28.55, which is a bloody record. Because most of my videos do about €2 or €3. So that was it. And I think that took about 3 years now. I've got an odd subscription because of politics. He goes on a bit, alright. The thing that put me off Ave was, I like his videos if he'd stick to the thing. There's two things I don't like about him though. And he seems like a nice, genuine kind of fella. But two things I don't like about him is the way he talks. All this, all the nonsense talk he goes on with. He goes on with too much. So it's alright to throw in a funny word now and then, but when it's just flat out bollocksology, it just gets too much. And the other thing that annoyed me about him was he does this sort of I'm your uncle thing where I'm your uncle and I'm going to tell you how to not be a fucking idiot when you're a young fella and all. And I'm like, no, you're not my uncle. Stop. You're a clown. So that will put me off. Like Chipmunk, my main entertainment is YouTube, yeah. Josh Donaldson has popped up in the chat talking about balls. Bang bang, where's my chat? Brad again was better before he split from the missus. Inclined to agree, George. Did go off a bit of a bender. not watched Naomi? She's into more modern tech. Yes, I hadn't noticed. Uh, Not much interest for me. Good night. Good night, Dennis. You're being a bit hard on yourself, Jojo. If you can't fix it, you say so. I suppose I have. Michael Tranfield says, night, Dennis. Okay, good night, Dennis. Just nearly had a meet up with Naomi in Thailand last time. Hold on, I need to fucking focus in on this one. Nearly had a meet up with Naomi in Thailand last time I was over there. Our stopover in Bangkok wasn't long enough to arrange it. Oh no, George, that's a disappointment. Jerry says Naomi has the wrong bits for me. Interesting. Uh, yes, what I'm gonna say is honestly, it's not the same as just pretending it didn't happen. Like Dennis, she could take an eye out with those weapons. Yeah. Uncle Bumblefuck. Yeah, no, not that whole uncle thing. You're not me uncle. Like, just show me how the fucking voice works or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't like all that nonsense. George Christophe likes Carlton, but sometimes find him too patronising. I always think one of those scalps is going to crack him on the head, and that'll be the end one. Carlton looks like a serial killer, possibly. He intends to be, but just wants to be uber professional, and it comes across that way. Yeah, fair enough for Elnie Mooney. Did you do any more with the Philips analog meter from last week? I did, Kevin. I did. I made a total bollocks of it, right? I managed to break the board out, not thinking about what I was doing, and then I soldered the tracks over. Then I found what was originally wrong with it, soldered it across with a little wire, and then the wiper broke the wire out of place. So I have to have another go at it, or possibly never mention it again. No, Conway, correcto. Inclined to agree, Jerry, she kind of ruined herself with the old silicone, to be fair. Like, they were big enough, and then she went bananas. Paul's stuff is also surprisingly tidy when he gets to it. Oh, I wasn't the only one to notice that. The condition of the stuff that Carlton works on is just amazing. He is a perfectionist, but remember, if you are following along, remember you are doing so at your own risk. Dead heat in a Zeppelin race. I have an impression he has money, and a lot more than he lets on. You know something, Chipmunk? I got that impression too. Well, I just let's see. Let me just count. Well, I just bought this bucket truck off the power utility company for like $50 million, and I'm gonna check the aerial now with the bucket truck on my large. Of a large garden here for my bucket truck and my large aerial here. Now I just built this 90,000 square foot shed for the like I like to call it a workshop for all my multimeters, and so on. Now, who knows? He's probably like the founder of Microsoft or something. Who knows? You have to watch. So I actually watched one of these videos and I did exactly that. I cranked up the speed a little bit. And he kind of sounded normal then. I wonder, does he make the videos and then slow them down to up his watch time? Did I get it bang on? I'm not very good at impressions. Thank you, Chipmunk. YouTube is revenue for him, but he had all that kit before YouTube. He is, as someone said, a total gent. I'm sure he is, yeah. No, I never heard him slagging off anyone else or saying anything, or, so no, we won't say anything nasty about him, that's for sure. But we can slag him a little bit. Yeah, he is in Canada, yeah. He's not living in, Manchester. That is a good, valid point. Carson gets about 200 grand per month from Patreon. Now, just hold on a minute. I can't even get my head around that. 200 grand a month from Patreon. That's nuts. What does he do on Patreon? That's just nuts. I made a lot of money off YouTube. That is mad. You get to see stuff he does not do on YouTube. So Ray Bourne, are you a doofer to him? Are you one of his little lodge nodgers? Good man, Roundy. There's a valve tester design on the UK Vintage Radio Forum, Roundy, if you're interested. I think it's called Cambridge or the Essex or something. Might be worth looking at. Marcus F. wants to know, why do you not show the national broadcasters test colour pattern on your YouTube videos? What? Oh, why don't you show the national broadcasters test colour pattern on your YouTube videos that you produce? I don't know, Marcus. Why don't I? I'm a patron to Carlson just for the design stuff and the schematics. Marcus, you're going to have to break that one down for me again. I don't really understand what you mean. Blum Adam. Radio Fixer, Rat House Radio is worth a watch. He's unusual voice, but he restored. Oh, I've heard him. But there was absolute effect and had described a rat in the speaker. This rat in the speaker when he started working on it. So there's actually a guy who was in charge of the Taoiseach and has a secret island base. Ooh. Sussex valve tester. Thank you. He wants an RTE test card. Well, he won't get it here because I hate RTE. They're a show of bastards. Sussex Valve Tester. That was the one. Roundy Mooney, Sussex Valve Testers. Welcome to Radio Fixer. He is making a replica knobs. Very. Oh yeah, I see him doing that as well. Yeah, quite nice too. How are sound, lads? RDA Roundy. Oh, Marcus, I shouldn't upset you. I don't mean to upset you. But the fact of the matter is, the DVD, he went missing. He might be there. Maybe I did upset him. The DVD just has the English test cards on it because it was made by a chap in England. Right? And I don't particularly like RTA, or the majority of people who work for RTA, or the output of RTA. And I'm not going to get political, but I don't particularly like the way RTA pick and choose what news they're going to tell people. And I know people who used to work for RTA, and some people who do work for RTA still. And they're very nice people. But RTA as an organisation is broken and should be disbanded. Much like the BBC in England. All roundy, we could have a discussion right there about that. What I would say is, there was a problem on RTA last week. I didn't see it, but I was told about it. I don't watch RTA. I'll point to principle. But they were talking about the issue around Dublin City. Dublin City has become sort of like, downtown LA or whatever. A no-go zone full of problems. But they only showed the local population of troubled people. They didn't show all the other people nearby who make a whole street impassable, who have been imported en masse. RT couldn't see that. Their cameras, their lenses would not allow those images to pass through. Joe Duffy is the worst on RTA. Yeah, no, it's all. No, we're not gonna. I should stop because we want to keep this a political free zone. We don't want to turn this into, we could set up another channel for this, of course, if we felt the need. And it will probably get a lot of views and make a lot of money. But we'll just keep this to the vintage electronics and what have you. We won't name names as much as we like to. Exactly. No, I'll stop there. And I always say I keep it non-political, so I shouldn't have went down that rabbit hole. And all this started on the question of why don't I show the National Broadcasters test? Yeah, no. They'd probably sue me for copyright if I stuck on RTA. If I stuck the St. Bridget's Cross up on my channel, they'd sue me for copyright. Yeah, no, mate. Yeah. I think you've answered it though. Oh yeah, pick and choose what bits you show. That's right. The suing. Oh yeah. Oh no. Arseholes. That's ours. There's a certain mentality in Ireland about, smashing things up. Be it CIA or RTA or the Office of Public Works or that. They would smash something up before they would let someone else have it. It's a terrible mentality that's in this country. I don't know if it exists quite to the same extent in the UK, but there's something about the Irish. If I can't have it, no one can have it. It's terrible, really. I once saw an RTA guy fix a 20-way sound desk, but couldn't change the plug top because that was an electrician's work. Oh yeah, you'd see that kind of shit, alright. Chipmunk says it's not political. The BBC say they don't want equal complaints from each side to prove they're not biased. The BBC say they want equal complaints from each side to prove they're not biased. Wouldn't not annoying anyone be better? Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, it's all gone a bit haywire. The thing about Test Card C is that it was used by all British channels in the early days, so claiming copyright would be difficult one for copyright to do alone. Yeah. They tried it with the ESB too. Succeeded with Aircon, yeah. And telecoms in Ireland was set back for decades. The difference with the ESB is, and I've known a couple of people who worked in the ESB over the years, one chap in particular, he's maybe sort of nearly 80 now, but he always said, they never fucked around with us lads, because at the end of the day, we were the boys with our hand on the switch. And if they upset us, we just turn the fucking thing off. Right? And that's why you never hear of much political unrest in the ESB. Because at the end of the day, they are the lads with their finger on the button. And they can just turn the country off. Ran by D4 Club. Yes, it was. Nepotism rife there. Yes. You'll always annoy someone. They're just good at it. Yeah. Did any vintage Irish TV broadcast equipment survive? There seems to still be quite a lot of BBC. No, not really. They had actually, it just goes back to my previous comment. Anything that they had was smashed up. Not even like decommissioned or whatever. They smashed up. They would have sent lads in with sledgehammers when they were finished with it. The only thing that survives is the transmitter down at Lone is intact. There's a few bits and pieces like that around the country, but like on the whole, no, things were smashed to bits. Not anymore. Everything is driven by public sentiment now. Yeah, well, what they've done is they've managed to turn people against one another, and people think this is great. I did actually happen to be in my in-laws one night, and RTE was on, and I think it was Nationwide on one of these interesting programs, and they were talking about tiny houses, and there was a chap there, and he's about the same age as myself, maybe a bit young, maybe let's say he was 30 years of age or so, and he was after constructing this what they call a tiny house on a trailer, and it was sort of 8 foot wide and 15 foot long or something like that. And it was a little house with a little bedroom and a little toilet, a little shower, little area to cook his little dinner in. And he was saying, yes, running in Google, and this is wonderful. That I will be able to live in this, and it's why would I have a mortgage or buy a house? I can live in this trailer, you see, and it's so wonderful, and it's so trendy, and it's environmentally friendly, and all this bollocks. Well, what this poor chap, it was 25 or 30, doesn't realise is that, in a few years he might want to get married and start a family. He hasn't thought about where he's going to park his little trailer, little house. He's not thought about where, when he has his shit in his little trailer, little house, where the shite's going to go, where he's going to get his electricity for this little trailer, little house, where he's going to get running water for his little trailer, little house. And at the end of the day, that you will have nothing. That in 20 years, his little trailer, little house will fall apart due to wear and tear on the exposure to the environment. But people are being bred into this, thinking this is wonderful. Oh, yes. Why don't I just live in this handy cardboard box? It's made out of paper, so it's recyclable. You see, and you can just fold it into a nice pyramid shape and lie inside it. You see, and then you're dry from the rain for up to 12 hours. It's weird the way the whole world is going. I've gone political again. Jesus, I do apologise, lads. The BBC were never destructive like that, but many public organisers were. Close to my own heart is BT's Strouger switching stuff. They'd set it on the provision the scrap dealer had to destroy it. Yeah, a bit sad. Like, I mean, whatever about broadcast equipment, transmitters getting in the wrong hand. Who was going to get a Strouger exchange and wire up a load of poles to our houses and take on BT? Mad. I do have some sympathy for the generation coming up now. It will get better, but as of now, it's very hard for the 20-somethings to start. I'd say it's impossible. I come back to, I'm very lucky in the position that I'm in, personally. There's not many people, even my age, that would have a little shed and, stuff. I was just lucky the way things went, I suppose, in some ways. And I made a few good decisions early on. I made a few bad ones since, but I thought RT was on its arse. They made a profit last year. Well, that's it, Rowney. Not only did they get a licence fee off us all, they also had revenue on top. I got an email about, it's probably over a year ago now, from some board called Olivia from Nationwide. That's what it said. Now, I don't know if it was someone taking the piss, but it was like, dear Odge Nodge, we would like to come and visit you to make a short segment for our Nationwide program on collecting vintage electronics. Would you be interested? Please ring this number. And I'm like, I'll just delete the fucking thing. Nonsense. Ramco are selling a bunch of DTV transmitters in containers, fully operational portable digital TV stations full of Roland Schwartz gear. Why are they doing that, George? Like Channel 4 in the UK? Might be talking. That was genuine. They were looking to do a show at that time. They spoke to one of my mentors down here too. Interesting. Not interested. I'll have to clean the place up and all, come up with some bollocks to talk about. And not only that, I know a couple of people a couple of years ago. I actually was on Nationwide once, but in a different capacity many years ago. You only see me in the background. But I know another group of people who were into a different hobby, but similar. But the whole thing was edited totally different, and they had given, facts and figures and, made the thing interesting. And Nationwide just picked on one or two stupid things, and it was shit. I think Channel 4 is government owned, some description or other. Right, lads, I'm going to sign off. It's late enough. We've gone on long enough. Last item on page. Not allowed to be government influenced. Very interesting. Hence the authorities not liking them. There we go into the politics again. Right, lads, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to go in and go to bed because I'm bollocksed. I'm up since 6 o'clock this morning, actually. So it's time I got the head down. We'll catch you in the next one. thanks very much, lads. It's been emotional and enjoyable and emotional again. We will catch you. We won't catch you this time next week because I will be. This time I'll be driving off the boat, all being well. We will catch you. We might catch you before then. We might have a live maybe on Thursday evening. And we will talk about stuff then in preparation for the Goblin. We'll call it. Yeah, well, we might have a live on Thursday evening. We might call it like the Goblin Live or some shit like that, where we will discuss Goblin. Good night, Michael Tranfield. Good night, The Crackle. Good night, Kev Bay. Good night, Ray Bourne. Good night, Noel. Good night, White Sapphire. Good night, Chipmunk. Thanks for all your help. Good night, Roundy. Good night, Jerry. Good night, George. And good night, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in as usual. Wonderful. Thanks again, and good luck.